body cameras, what do you think specifically needs to be done now in terms of the police department and how they interact with the community?
Well, I think what they're doing on their own is they're carrying most of the water on it because they are creating a reservoir of good faith and trust in the community. John Netsky and his staff have been incredible. They realize, as I realize, a successful police department isn't measured by the number of people they arrest. It's how they interact with the community, how they prevent crime, how they solve crime when it occurs. And I have absolute confidence in these guys. They're doing a great job.
I think we see that it is not a significant cost burden to the taxpayers, and we reap great rewards from having our own police department. There's a presence in the neighborhoods that wasn't there before. We have lower response times that we had a problem when we were at the I want to say mercy, but it's not meant to be negative, of the county. But the county, it's understandable. The county had its priorities, and Bowie, being a relatively safe community, wasn't high on their priorities. But that didn't matter to our citizens. So, in moving forward, I think we need to ensure that the police department lives up to its service with integrity motto.
I think for the Bowie Police to help keep the community safe, I think that we need to open up a program to allow volunteers to assist within some functions of the department. I think that is crucial to getting extra hands on deck, so to speak, to help the city.
And all the anecdotal feedback I get from the community about the police department is 99% positive. They like the way they operate, they like the way they look, their uniforms are sharp, their cars are clean. When they arrive at your home, they're interested. They don't refer you to another agency, they take care of your problem. They do an all-around great job.
And the surprising thing is the current mayor, Mr. Robinson, was one of the prime opponents to that effort in 1996. Another group came forward, established the committee that supported the referendum question, that based our decision to start the police department up, which I think was a great decision. I campaigned for both efforts. I supported both, and I've supported the police department since its inception.
Clearly, I was one of the prime movers to go to the city police department. Years before I came aboard, the city had put a 9/1 referendum. Do you want a police department or not? A city police department. And they did little or nothing to try to explain to the voters why it would be an advantage or what the disadvantages were. When that went to referendum, it lost like 3 or 4 to 1. When I came on board, I said, look, the problem hasn't gone away.
I will also help the department to just advance and reach new heights with the addition of resources, and I hope to start programs with the department that are like fundraisers, so that they may develop an appropriate slush fund to meet their needs.
I love the men and women down here at District 2. They're outstanding professional people. The problem was that on any given day, the maximum police coverage in the city of 60,000 people was 4. And at night, sometimes it was 2. And that assumed that nobody was sick, nobody was on leave, nobody was in court, nobody was handling an accident report, nobody was in the station doing reports. So in a city this size, there could be big blocks of time when there was no police available to handle emergency calls. And we said, we've got to seriously look at that.
We have, I believe, a very good relationship between the citizenry and our police department, and we need to enhance that, expand it. And we also need to be careful, because as we are successful, we shouldn't fall back into kind of an assumption that the police department answers all of the questions. They know what's best for you. You see that across the country at times, where the police really, I think, start to become a problem in community relations, and we need to make sure that doesn't ever happen here. And under the current police chief, Netsky, I don't think that'll ever happen.
And I had charts made up that said, if your house is worth $200,000, this is your share. If your house is worth $500,000, this is your share. If your house is worth $1 million, this is your share. And here are our goals. Here's how we would define success. If emergency response times drop from 12 to 15, 18 minutes down to 2 or 3, that's a success. If non-emergency calls are drop from an hour to several minutes, that's a success. If there's a strong personal relationship between the police department, the residential community, and the business community, that's a success. If the police department are part of the community instead of in a controlling force, that's a success.
I think in terms of the police department and how they interact with the community, I think that the current administration is bringing in body cameras, as are many other police departments in the region. And I think that that will help the way they interact with the community and ensure that the community is effectively policed.
With our own police department, we have a very good presence in the city. And I think that has helped to improve the feeling that our citizens have that they are truly safe and happy and have a very high quality of life within the city.
Their goal this year is to open up a 24-hour-a-day communication center. That's in this year's budget, which is one of the goals I've had since the very beginning, so that anybody in the city could pick up the phone 24 hours a day and call a city policeman or somebody with the city police. And not only will they be able to handle city police, but if somebody has a question about a water leak in the road, or the street signs down, or the lights are out, or something like that, they'll have a single point of contact where we can refer that to them.